And Steve Kidowitz will not be here.
Okay,
Heidi DeWinger,
here.
Kylie Goslin,
Here.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Here.
Pepper Bates, Greg Ugaldi.
Here.
Okay, well, hopefully Lisa will join us. Okay, first up on our agenda is the Huntington Towers transaction, and Debbie is going to present.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Debbie Alter. I'm a manager in the multifamily area. I'd like to present Huntington Towers in New London. This request is to approve tax exempt bond proceeds for a construction to permanent first mortgage loan up to $17 million to Huntington Senior Associates LLC, which is an entity formed by the developer Leon and Wiener and Associates Incorporated. This tax exempt loan will be evidenced by the two-note structure. There will be a construction note in a principal amount up to $4,550,000, paying an interest-only rate of up to 4.51% per annum for a term of up to 24 months, and a permanent loan note in a principal amount of approximately $12,450,000, paying interest at a rate of no higher than 4.63% per annum. This will be interest only for up to 24 months before converting to a fully amortizing permanent loan with a term of 40 years. Huntington Towers is an existing 120 unit, fully subsidized Section 8 mid-rise apartment building for seniors and disabled individuals located in New London. It was originally built in 1983 and consists of all one-bedroom units. All units are affordable. 24 units are targeted to households at or below 50% of area median income, and the remaining 96 are targeted to households at or below 60% of AMI. The property is located within a 5-minute walk of a public library, the Performing Arts Center, and a food cooperative. There are also bus stops right outside the building that offer access to other amenities within the New London area. A minor to moderate rehabilitation of the property is planned. This will include replacement of the original waste and rainwater systems throughout the building, improvements to kitchens, air conditioning systems, some accessibility modifications, and repairs to the parking lot. A related entity to the developer has owned and operated the property since it was built. Property was financed with CHFA funding in 1982 and was approved for prepayment in 2013. At that time, the property was refinanced with a conventional loan. Some capital improvements made at that time, 2013-2014 timeframe, was replacement of windows, replacement of carpet in common areas with vinyl tile, and replacement of appliances in many of the units. The current mortgage matures on October 1st, 2021, which is necessitating the need to refinance again. The developer, as I mentioned, is Leon and Wiener and Associates. They are based in Delaware. They do not have any other properties in the CHFA portfolio, but they are active in 10 states from New England to the Mid-Atlantic. And they have been awarded tax credit funds for projects in 11 other states. Drake Construction will serve as the general contractor for the project. This company is based in Ohio, but does hold a major contractor license in Connecticut. As of last year, they had worked on over 30 construction projects that were designated as affordable housing. They have submitted a comprehensive COVID-19 response plan, which outlines procedures to keep all residents, staff, and visitors to the site safe. The architect for the project will be Capital Consultants based in St. Louis, Missouri. The firm was founded in 1997 and has worked on more than 1,700 units in areas across the US. Capital Consultants is licensed in Connecticut and did serve as the architect for the Huntington Towers rehab that occurred in the 2013-2014 timeframe. That project was completed on time and without any cost overruns. The total development cost is approximately $23,764,000. This represents a per unit cost of approximately $198,000. Construction costs total nearly $4 million, or approximately $33,295 per unit and $36 per square foot. In addition to the $17 million tax exempt bond loan, the proposed sources of funds include approximately $7 million in 4% tax credit equity, $300,000 from existing property reserves. The developer will be deferring approximately $803,000 of its fee. Eversource will be providing approximately $30,000 in energy rebates. There will also be a seller note of approximately $2,250,000 and $890,000 of rental income that is earned during the renovation will be used for the costs. The loan to value is 74.3%. That is based on the investment value as completed, which is $16,760,000. The loan to cost is 52.4%. Project-based Section 8 Housing Assistance Payment Contract does cover all units in the building. It will expire in 2033 and will automatically renew for an additional 18 years until 2051. The development is restricted to households age 62 and older and physically disabled individuals of any age. There is a resident service coordinator on site 15 hours per week to assist the residents in connecting to community services that will help them to live independently. No renovation work will take place while units are occupied. Residents will either be temporarily moved to a vacant unit or moved to an off-site extended stay hotel for approximately 3 to 4 weeks. The owner has kept 10 units vacant to accommodate the renovation and does not expect a lot of off-site relocation. There are many strengths to this transaction. It will preserve 120 units of affordable housing for the elderly and disabled and update the physical condition of the apartments and common areas. The current managing member does have the right to force a sale of the development to a third party, so accommodating this request will ensure that it remains affordable housing and remains in the portfolio of a mission-driven developer. The condition of the property is good overall, and this shows the developer's attentiveness and dedication to its assets and to its residents. This development has a history of positive cash flow, and the underwriting projections show this continuing. The property is nearly 100% occupied. As I mentioned, they are holding 10 units vacant for the renovation, but they do maintain a waiting list of approximately 150 households. The development will add 120 new units to CHFA's tax credit portfolio, and these units will be restricted by a 40-year extended low-income housing commitment. The funding structure also does not require any scarce resources from DOH or any other state agencies. Challenges include when renovating an existing building, there's always the challenge of unforeseen conditions. And the current COVID-19 pandemic also creates challenges with renovating an occupied building, as well as the effect it's had on the escalating cost of materials. Mitigating factors for this are the developer has owned the property since it was built and is familiar with it. A capital needs assessment and environmental testing has been completed and reviewed and accepted by CHFA, so no surprises are expected. Current material costs are included in the proposal, and the proposed renovation is not severely impacted by the increasing lumber costs, as it's an existing building and lumber is not going to be heavily used. The development budget also includes a construction contingency of nearly 10%. The project general contractor does have industry recommended COVID-19 protocols in place. These include daily screening of workers, frequent cleaning of surfaces and tools, the use of masks and other personal protective equipment, and mandatory social distancing. All units will be sanitized before they are turned back over to a resident. Renovation work will be performed in vacant units, and workers will have little contact with tenants or other staff. A closing is expected to be achieved quickly, and CHFA standard closing conditions will be required. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions? It seems pretty straightforward to me.
Just one question, Heidi. Just following along on how they're going to actually do the construction work. And you said that they do have rooms lined up at long-term stay hotels, that kind of thing. But I think that you said too that they don't expect the impact to be too large on the residents, like displacing them and moving them off site. How do they see balancing that during the construction? It was good to hear about the lumber and controlling costs plus the reserve, but I'm just wondering how they're going to balance the tenants and work in open units.
So they plan to do the units, I believe, in 5-unit blocks. And there are vacant units throughout the building that these tenants can be moved to, or if necessary, they can be moved off-site. If that becomes, if additional space is needed, they will move them off-site. But the intent, my understanding, is to do it in 5-unit blocks, so the workers are kind of in one area of the hallway or of the floor and not spread out throughout the building.
Good.
Okay, anybody else? I mean, like I said, it sounds like something that needs to be done, and we've got the right people doing it since they know the building and they've managed it, and they apparently have done a good job.
Yeah, I do know of these people too, and they've had a great track record in other parts of the country as well. If you would like a motion, I can put a motion on the table to approve this.
That would be great. My only other comment was, it sounds like we need another one of these buildings if we have 150 families on wait list.
Right.
Maybe we can talk them into doing another project.
Right.
But okay, we have a motion. Okay, second. Any other questions, concerns? Okay, Shelley?
Cindy Butts. I don't think she's joined. Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin,
Aye.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi,
Yes.
unanimous.
Okay, great. We have minutes to review. Anybody have any comments or changes? They look good to me. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Approval of the minutes from the meeting, our last meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
Kylie, I'll second.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Shelley?
Heidi DeWinger,
Yep, approved.
Kylie Gosselin,
Approved.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi,
Approved.
unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Wendy, a report on multifamily.
Good morning, everybody.
2020 was a challenging year with the onset of the pandemic, and Lisa worked diligently to respond to the incidents of
7 initial closings took place in March. Several of them were for the projects in the SSHP portfolio, so they were rehab projects. There was also a final closing for a pre-transaction critical needs project, Faith Manor, which is in Hartford, and that's also in the SSHP portfolio. And those renovations included a roof and some sidewalk renovations. As far as overview sessions and workshops, we had staff that attended a training on rent recertification for SSHP portfolio projects. There was a forum put on by the National Low Income Housing Coalition on housing policy. Topics included racial equity and housing justice, lessons learned from COVID-19, emergency rental assistance programs, and legislative opportunities related to housing. This week, CHFA and Spectrum hosted our semi-annual LIHTC compliance conference. These used to be held in person, but now they are done remotely, of course. And we had over 300 participants on that call. Yeah, I mean, in person, we were always limited to our venue, but it is an advantage having these online. We can have more people participate. Also this week, CHFA hosted the HTCC overview session. There were numerous changes to the guidelines and the CONAP this year to streamline and strengthen the review process and compliance going forward. So it was strongly encouraged for participants to listen in. And we had 54 people participated on that. Early in May, the New England Resident Service Coordinators are holding their annual conference virtually. Karen Futoma, who is CHFA's resident service liaison, will be co-presenting a workshop at that conference on emergency preparedness with a focus on COVID-19 response. And over 400 participants are expected at that conference. CHFA asset managers are busy right now reviewing annual financial statements that come in from all of our properties in the CHFA portfolio. Most of them are due in March, so that takes up a lot of staff time. An update on the HACCP program. If you recall, we turned that into a basic needs pantry program. And we received over 33 applications and about $90,000 has been committed. And there were also 6 applications for the capital resident program. There's approximately 21,000 still available, but those funds are almost all used, so that's great. And also we have included a chart that includes applications that are under review by staff and should be brought to the mortgage committee and board in the next several months. Are there any questions?
I don't hear any. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Any other comments, or we have a lot of time left? Okay, I guess we could adjourn to reconvene for the regular board meeting. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you.
This was a good report too, by the way. This had everything very straightforward. That's why there wasn't a lot of questions.
That's
Super
true.
efficient meeting in all respects.
Well done. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.